What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. Taking a look at this Gold Sarcophagus deck. There was a new card announced recently that I checked out the day that it came out, or was announced online. And that's Dark Magician, the Ebon Sorcerer. So if it's destroyed by card effect, and you have a level 7 or higher monster on the field, this card base or level 5 or higher. This card lets you search a Dark Magician card. It's the most searchable Dark Magician card in existence. And actually is I think it's the only card in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! That helps you search Eye of Timaeus. I'm pretty sure. Other than generic searchers, obviously. In archetype, which is interesting. But also, you can also search out cards like Bond Between Teacher and Student. Now, it's kind of hard to fulfill these conditions. There is one card in Gold Sarcophagus. It's Gamora that destroys all cards on the field, but you have to have both on the field. It's not necessarily an easy condition to do. But there is a little engine, Kashtira, that does make it a little bit easier, in fact, a lot easier, and fairly consistent. It helps you do something like this, Bond Between Teacher and Student, which gets you Dark Burning Magic. And, most of all, between all of these combos, I just really like playing Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. This is a very silly deck, a very silly version of this deck, but it is fun. So I'm going to do the deck profile, and then I'm going to jump over into some games to show you kind of how it all works. The hand trap time is a little bit weird. I do run 9 going second cards. Double Imperm, triple Ash, double Droll Lockbird, and then double Fenrir. It is a little bit bizarre. I guess you could drop one of these and just play extras, but I do kind of like to mix it up just a little bit. 3 copies of Unicorn, 1 copy of Rise Heart, and then, of course, Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. And then this is the new Ebon Sorcerer I've been talking about. 3 copies of the Tricolor Gadget. This is your main play starter. It searches all your spells and traps, but I don't play any of the traps. 1 copy of the Silent Magician Zero. This is a spell negate. It also increases its level, which doesn't necessarily come up too often. 2 copies of Marshmallow. Ties of the Friendship brings these out. Cool thing about Marshmallow, which you will see in one of these replays, if both of them are out in the field, your opponent can't attack. This card can only be attacked, but if there's 2 on the board, that means nothing can be attacked because you can't attack either one, technically. There used to be this really weird combo, I think with dinosaurs or something, that was the same thing where you could not attack anything. And it just kind of reminds me of that. It's okay. I feel like you could take out Ties of the Brethren a little bit. I don't know. I've been testing around some, but it is overall this is a pretty limited deck, and actually I don't think that very good. So it's kind of more just fun. This is Ties of the Friendship, which brings things out. It's Turn Silence. You want to play at least one of these because it can make your Tricolor Gadget at level 7, which is very important. 3 copies of Gold Sarcophagus of Light, of course. This is Silence Towards the Future. This is the Searcher. It's a quick effect, so it gets around Droll, which is really nice. Talked about Bond Between Teacher and Student and Dark Burning Magic. 1 copy of Kashtira Theosis. 3 copies of the Prime Planet. 3 copies of Product Prosperity to kind of bring it all together. And then Terraforming for this, because you want to see Unicorn literally as much as humanly possible. Onto the extra deck, I have Zeus. 1 copy of the Darkest Dragon Doom Rider. This is the card that typically destroys your Ebon Sorcerer. This is Ebon Illusion Magician. So this brings us out from the deck, which is really important because Dark Burning Magic, you have to control the original name. So that kind of sucks and is very limiting, but it does work in the context of this deck. 1 copy of Shangri-La. There are times when your opponent kind of stops you and you want to be able to have this with the field spell. It's obviously a very good combo. It's the source of the deck. I do play Constellar Diamond. You could also play Artifact Dagda because this card can't be destroyed by monster effects. So it's kind of like a free Omni in a weird way. But with Fire King rolling around, this card's, I think, just too important. Stellar Knight Deltros is just something to get attached, basically, during the end phase of the Ptolemaeus. 1 copy Tornado Dragon, 1 copy of Castel, 1 copy of Evil Swarm Exciton Knight, Abyss Dweller. In fact, you could probably take out Abyss Dweller for sure. It's never, ever come up. And maybe just play something more useful. But I like to have generic 4s. Because this guy just sticks on the board and does nothing. And you can search extra copies of it on the turn back and then get rid of your opponent's troublesome cards, which is kind of, I guess, the whole point. And then the Zodiac combo here. This helps you get to Zeus, obviously, a little bit easier. And then F-Zero. Through your normal combos, you will get to F-Zero. You could also run Draco back to destroy this. And, maybe you want to, keep this card around. I'm not sure. But most of the time, obviously, this card is just better. And you'd rather have the extra deck slot for some sort of removal, which is seemingly pretty much one of the most important things. Okay, so let's jump over to the replays. I'm going to show one specifically. I believe this is full combo, and this is obviously where Pot of Prosperity is huge. And I already have the Ebon Sorcerer, so literally all I need to do is just find a version of Gold Sarcophagus either the copy of it, the gadget one, or then like the quick effect that searches it. And by taking 2 cards out of my deck, I'm almost assured, right, looking at the top 6 cards, to find some version of it. And then there we go. I find the quick play spell, which is really nice. And again, it's like it's really nice being able to play Prana Prosperity, and it like doesn't really do anything. You literally just get to search the top 6 cards of your deck, which is really important. Okay, here we go. So I'm also going to be able to get Ties of the Friendship, which is really cool. You're going to see Marshmallow come on here, and it does come up. Like these little guys are like so small, like in terms of attack value. It just sucks that the 2 level 4s don't special summon themselves, and I think that limits the decks, like it limits it super like badly. And then here we go. I now have F-Zero plus a board wipe, which isn't great. Well, I'm also going to have battle protection and a spell negate, but I do have hand traps in my hand too, which really helps. Pretty much it like guarantees my victory. I meant to put this in defense position, but yeah, he can't attack anything but this. He can't use his spell cards, so it's pretty much over at that point. Although I don't think he even really had anything. I just wanted to showcase that is full combo technically, and I'll just go through the rest of them. Okay, so I can go for the Pressure Planet. I can search this, so this does play around Joel, I guess, a little bit, although it wouldn't really matter because I have to search again right after. So it's very interesting to use this as a quick effect. I've never used the effect where both players draw until they have 6 cards, because it would give your opponent like a bunch of cards too, although I'm sure it could come up at some point. Special Summon, the normal combo guide goes through here. Now I don't have Ties of the Brethren, but I do have Turn Silence, which is kind of interesting. It is a monster negate, as long as it's like a weird version of Called by the Grave. And then finally I can finish this off. Alright, so we'll see what this does. Well, again, this isn't the greatest end board ever, especially because you're so vulnerable to spells, and this is a very casual deck, but it is fun to play. There goes Dark Ruler, which doesn't really do anything. I mean, it does turn off your F-Zero, which kind of stinks, but you do still have a board wipe, and I do still have a monster negate here. And with nothing on the board, like you can't use these Code Talker monsters, can't go into Parallel Exceed, can't go into Ib or anything like that, so it worked out. This is the new Exodia cards, and I haven't read them yet. I'm actually kind of excited. This is, once again, like a pretty good combo here. I've thought about playing like one extra Scareclaw monster. Or not Scareclaw, excuse me, Kashtira. Like in case I have an extra body. Because I could use the extra level 7 for sure. And that may be like the next big evolution for the deck. And now I can search all of my pieces. Everything is everything in this deck. Hopefully finding Theosis during this, and I did. And again, being able to search the top 6 is very powerful. So now I can do my combo lines like normal. He did have the Ash Blossom there, but I still do have plays. It's not completely over. I do play the level 4 engine, so I can go ahead and turn that into Shangri-Ira, and then I can go into Ptolemaeus. So that's going to give me the Constellar Diamond. And again, this could be Dagda, and maybe that would have been better, because he's going to target this, or even the Field Spell. It doesn't really matter. But if he did target the Field Spell, it doesn't get destroyed. But yeah, this is a Banish, a Pop, obviously with the Field Spell, then Constellar Diamond. He did also have the Crossout Designator, which is very unfortunate, but let's see what he gets off the top. I still have plenty of interruption here. I'm going to go ahead and start locking his zones. I guess it doesn't really matter what zones I work with, but might as well use it. He's going to try to put that into the Spell and Trap zone. I cannot pop this. This is like protected, I guess, from card effects, which kind of stinks. It's funny that the Field Spell boosted this to over like the threshold, so I couldn't use it. Or he was able to bounce it, excuse me. But yeah, this activates during the standby phase anyways. This is just a very good like loop. This is against Libromancer. This looks like a very good opening. I'm pretty sure this is completely full combo. It definitely is. So I can go ahead and special summon there, normal summon the gadget, search the Sark, and I could probably even search the Turn Silence now, which is a monster negate. So my end board's going to be even better. Like, it literally doesn't get better than this, especially seeing Droll in your hand. I could turn that into a level 7. That's right, I didn't have it because I started a little bit weird there. So that was pretty cool to be able to like cheese that out, basically. And I'm sure like it's part of the function of Turn Silence, but I still get F-Zero, which is amazing. I couldn't use Ties of Friendship, that's what it was, because you have to control a monster on the board, obviously, with Gold Sark, and I needed to use it for something else. But there goes Droll. He does have Called by the Grave, so that kind of stinks. There goes the Sarcophagus. I'm going to wait till like pop this, obviously. He's going to try to discard, and I will destroy it, so it doesn't go through. Still have my monster negate, and I'm pretty sure like it's just over at this point, because he doesn't have any like Libromancer cards that he can go into at this for this. Yeah, like he can't summon. This only is a level 4. This is a level like 6 or something. Okay, just a couple more. I guess you kind of get the idea. This is like maybe the perfect opening. Ash, Imperm, Unicorn, and Gadget. Like pretty much handpicked at that point. And I'm pretty sure he can't do anything after this. So he's just going to end turn, and then I get to go full combo. Top deck the Droll off the top, which is pretty hilarious. Special summon the Unicorn. Get the Kashtira Theosis. And I'm off to the races. Special summon the Rice Heart. Go into the Dragon Doom Rider. Get this Gold Sarcophagus. And there we go. I do now have a level 5 or higher monster on the board. Like, it's legitimately hard within Archetype to do this. I feel like the Kashtira engine is like way more consistent when it comes to doing this. Now, you could also play like one of the traps that negates all face-up monsters if you control Dark Magician, because obviously Eben counts as Dark Magician. So you don't really have to play a brick, but I like to get more use out of the cards, I think, a little bit. Okay, let's check out probably just one more. And I think, you know, let's just do this one. I think this is pretty hilarious. So this is against VW, and I actually messed up at like multiple spots, but you do see a lot of interesting interactions here. He did have Ash Blossom, which doesn't really matter. Well, I would have been able to get Ties of Friendship, which I guess kind of does stink. My end board is a little bit worse, but my opponent is also down one less card, which is good for me. So I can go ahead and special summon. He does go for, or I do go for the Dragon Doom Rider. So I'm going to end on the board wipe and the F-Zero with a lot of follow-up, right? A ton of follow-up. I can do level 4s. I can do a ton of things. Where I can get another gadget, normal summon it, you know, get the like the Monster Searcher or Ties of Friendship, and like pretty much it's over at that point. Okay, so let's see what my opponent does. I feel like this is really good against VW specifically. He does go for Kieran there. I'm going to go ahead and wipe his board, although maybe I should have waited. Although I was thinking he was going to like just go into an extra deck play and like force something out for me. I don't know. I don't know if that was necessarily the right choice. Pretty much figured the only card that could keep him going was Lulu. But yeah, he saved it. So that was a really good play by him. My opponent was actually really, really good. Like probably a better Yu-Gi-Oh player than I am. I cannot believe like he pulled this out of like pretty much nowhere to like make this game close. But I think the follow-up is just going to be a little too much for him. Yeah, he discarded the Armor Fortress. This can't be used for Zeus because it can't be used if it has material. And then there we go. I do also have Marshmallow on, which is hilarious. And then there we go. I can bring out 2 from the deck. Normal summon. I guess that's kind of a cool part as well, is that the Kashtira monsters aren't super mega bricks in your hand. And it feels, again, like I'm pretty much like guaranteed to win, but I think he top decks triple tactics, which is great, which is just like really, really good. But now my opponent can't attack me, at least as of right now. Plus I have the Fenrir. Now he did try to negate Fenrir, which I guess I kind of had to. But yeah, he was going to attack going to Zeus, but you can't. I have 2 of these on the board, so that's a really important ruling. I can banish when I forgot, right? Maybe I shouldn't have done that. This does come back during the end phase. I think things would have transpired pretty much the same way either way. So now I'm like I'm a little nervous now. He's going to put that back into the extra deck. This is obviously banished, so he can't do anything with it. Maybe he regrets doing that. And then there goes the Chuche. Normal summon the Fenrir. I can attack over it and yeah, go for game. But that was like really close. That kind of came down right to the wire. Like bravo to my opponent for the way they played. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Other than that's going to do it for today's video, and I will see you guys next time.